What's good, gang? So, over the last few videos, I've really been stressing to you guys how important it is what you are doing inside of yourself, where you're dwelling, what you're thinking, what you're saying inside of yourself. And we've been discussing focusing on your inner world as we know that imagination is the true reality. Today, I want to talk about how this one key magnifies your imagination, helps you live in the end, and helps you with where you are dwelling within yourself. And I don't think I hear that many people speak about it. It kind of is a technique, but I feel that it is a way of life for the new version of you, the new man, right? Before we get into that, welcome back to my channel and my podcast. My name is Autumn. Thank you so much for being here. You guys, don't forget our SP Masterclass on February 8th. It starts 12 p.m. CST my time. Replay will be available if you're not able to stay the whole class or if you can't make it. So definitely get down in the description box and join us for the lovely vibes. All right. So let's get into it, you guys. The key to staying in the end, along with imagining from the end, is your inner speech, your inner talking. What you are saying within yourself, it has to align with where you dwell or the version of yourself that you prefer to be, right? There's a Proverbs that I really like in scripture, and it says, from a wise mind comes wise speech. And I love that, you guys. It is so true. Most people will say, I'm imagining living from my end. And when you do the investigation, they still carry inner conversations from the perspective of the old man, the old person. And I am gave you the gift of speech and mind. These are your two gifts. These are your wands when it comes to you really manifesting your desires, you really staying aligned with the end and in the end and as the version of yourself that you desire to be. And when these are in agreement, there is no power on earth that can stop you from materializing your desire because these two are walking as one, correct? And I see this a lot with SP stories. If you really do the investigation on why SPs have not come back, because more than anything, if you desire to be with your specific person and you are imagining being with him, but you still replay the argument that you had within you, or you have an argument with your SP and you guys might have taken a break away from each other and you wish to revise it. So you're imagining things how you want them to be, but then you're still upset about the argument. And then within yourself, you're still saying all the things that you wish you could have said, and but at the same time you're still desiring to live in the end and be with them. So you're not in agreement, not in alignment with the person who already is in that relationship and things being the way that they prefer, right? And I've done this plenty of times. I have success stories on this channel where people have solved situations with their bosses by their inner talk, changing their inner talk. So this also goes for work. This also goes for your inner talk when it comes to your finances. You can apply this to anything, right? So Neville has a lecture called Inner Conversation, I believe, and he has a quote that I like to talk about, and it references along with a scripture that I'm going to reference too, but it says, put off former conversations, the old man which is corrupt, and put on the new man which is created in righteousness. And we know righteousness means right thinking, thinking as whole and complete, right? And it says, well, if the old man is tied to my former conversations, the new man must be tied to my future conversations. Well, start it right now. This whole thing is all within us. And then we have a scripture from Ephesians 4:22, verse 4:22 through 24, and it says, put off conversations concerning your former conduct, the old man which grows corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that you put on the new man which was created according to God in true righteousness and holiness, you guys. So this is why I say what you are doing inside yourself is so important when it comes to aligning yourself with that version of yourself where things are the way that you want to be. And this also helps you to live fully in the end, in your imagination. This means thinking from your desire and not just thinking of it, because when you still carry the old conversations from the old man, then you are not thinking from your manifestation. You're most likely thinking of your manifestation. So you're imagining, but you haven't fully moved into being that person and having the conversations that that person has, right? So I want to share with you guys a quick little story that I did just recently. Yesterday was resolved with someone from my management down at my apartment building. This guy, this manager, was so, before I had a skewed version of him. Of course, I was looking through wrong lenses at that time, but to me, he just was not a polite person at all. He just did not do things in correct order in my perspective, right? So I had a conversation with him previously, and he was taking his slow time on getting things resolved within what I needed things to get done for, right? And so every time I came up to talk to him, he was more and more and more just not resistant to solving the problem for me. But then I sat back and I realized the conversations I was having within myself before I approached him about this situation. And there were conversations that were implying that he was going to be resistant, and I was already ready to combat and say what I wanted to say to him instead of, speaking the way that I know that I would have if it was able to be resolved very quickly. So, what I did before this last conversation that we had yesterday, because I was like, I know that I can change this instantly, I sat within myself and I realized that he is within me, that we are one. And the way that I'm seeing him, from the perspective I'm seeing him, is not in accordance with who I am and who he is, as far as being the source of I am. He just is a son of God as well as I'm a daughter of God. So I went within myself and I saw him the way that I preferred. And I gave the conversation the way I preferred. And we had a wonderful conversation. I changed the conversation within me. And so when I went to ask the question yesterday, I asked him, I said, hey, do you have a moment to talk? I would love to speak to you really quick. And he was like, oh, sure. And then I asked him again and I was more understanding, and he looked at me and he said, you know what? I actually really appreciate you for coming to me, and we love having you here. I would love to solve this situation for you right now. I'm going to take care of it right now. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable about anything that is going on here. We really value you here, and we are glad that you here. And this was what I imagined him saying within myself, that he valued me just like I valued being there. And it was resolved instantly. It got resolved within 20 minutes after that conversation. But the inner conversations that I had within myself previously were of disharmony, of discord, and they were not in alignment with the version of me who I claim to be, and also who I claim to see everyone else as. Because if I look at everyone else as an extension of me, then I should be seeing everyone and everything in harmony as well, you guys. So you can change your situations or move to the reality where everything and everyone is the way that you prefer them to be. And you can do it instantly by aligning your speech, what you're saying within yourself with your imagination, you guys. And ever since then, yesterday, he was so excited because he's going on vacation this week 2 coming up, and he was sharing with me all that he was going to be doing. He was going to an island with his girlfriend and he's going to propose to her, and he was really nervous. So, he apologized because he was stressed out for the whole week about, proposing to her. And so we talked about it, and I sent my best vibes, and I'm so excited to hear, of course, that he's going to be engaged when he gets back. So it seems like now I also have a new friend on my side too. So it was just very, very, very just important that I share this with you guys today, because I don't feel I hear a lot of people talk about inner conversations and how important they are in regards to you being the version that you prefer to be. So definitely align yourself, your imagination, where you dwell, with what you are saying inside yourself. And if you slip back for a moment, don't place any judgment on it, because it's the judgment that solidifies you to locking you in thinking from the old version. Don't judge yourself off on it. Just speak the way that you would prefer, see things the way that you would prefer, and align your heart and your mind, because this is also along with coherence. This is how you get into heart and mind coherence, by being on the same accord within your heart and within your mind, you guys. So definitely this is the one key that will help you live in the end, and definitely transform all of your relationships, from everything, including money, your job, your family. All of your relationships will be changed when you align your speech, your inner conversations with your imagination. All right. So I wanted to drop this video for you guys today, and I hope that you have the most amazing weekend. And once again, imagination is on your side, and I am too. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.